Hey guys, my name is Simpzy, how you all doing? Welcome back to some more Total War Rome 2. Here today on the channel, we're back with episode 12 of my DEI Divide Et Impera Spartan campaign. Here today we're going to execute Order 66 and betray our Seleucid allies. I've surrounded every single one of their settlements nearly, and we're going to declare war upon them. They've got a few armies hanging about as well, so we have to deal with them. So, I've made the decision, guys, thanks to all the fantastic support on this series, to essentially commission 10 more episodes. I'm going to spend the next couple of days getting ready for the war against the Romans. So I think what we'll do, we'll declare a war against the Seleucids today, then we'll deal with the Armenians and the Getae and a couple of these border factions, and then what I'll do is we'll march against Rome. It will take me quite a bit to get over there, but yeah, just want to thank each and every one of you for all the fantastic support on this series. It's been overwhelming. It's been good. Like I don't tend to do too long series unless I'm super motivated to do so, but you guys are loving it, and I really appreciate it. And I'm having a blast with this campaign still as well. We're in a really good situation where we're dominating the east. We're about to finish the last of them off, and Rome's built up quite strong, so we're going to have some decent wars against them in the future. But anyway, let's get stuck into today's episode. This is what the Spartan Empire looks like. If there was to be a civil war, it looks like mostly Egypt would secede, which is rather interesting to see. So, they did lose Mesopotamia, Babylon, the heart of the Middle East, I guess. So, we'll declare war against the Seleucids. We'll betray them. Rome is going to stand with us. And let's send all our forces about. So they do have a couple of full stacks roaming about, but the Seleucids are in a pretty poor position, to be honest. They got smashed against the Egyptians. Most of their manpower has been drained, and they weren't able to keep most of their strappies as well. So we'll move into all these settlements. So a couple of these are probably easy order resolves. We don't have to play every single one of them, but I will play the hardest battle that I can find that's worth playing. So we're currently sieging, what, 4 settlements. We'll push into Antioch. Okay, even that's a decent order resolve as well. And can we move you closer in slightly? I might actually move this army in. It's got slightly more like hoplite dudes. And we'll mark this one as well. My camera's slightly moved there for whatever reason. Okay, so the Seleucid Empire now burns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, nearly 7 settlements surrounded by the Spartans. So they've got an army here. Now, does that come in? Okay, I think this is probably... We could do the siege, but we're better off order resolving the siege of Antioch, because we'd actually get a worse result of actually playing it, because we've got pikes. So I'm going to play this one because there's an army outside, so this is the next best one. So, the Battle of Dura, 248 BC, it's a minor settlement essentially. So we have the Eagles of Zeus. It's actually got a lot of probably Cimmerian pikes, I would say, hoplites, whatever. 3 camel archers, 3 archers as well. And then we've got the Seleucid army roster in there. You'd think the Seleucids at this time period would be a little bit more built up. I think they just got overwhelmed, honestly. But we kept them as our ally for the majority of the campaign. Sort of played them out, which is cool. Okay, so let's get these guys. The lighter infantry here. And we'll try and surround the settlement from all sides. We do have a decent amount of horse archers. Although they're camels, we should be able to hit those reinforcements decently. And then we'll focus on going after the Armenians, I guess. Okay, so let's have a look at everyone. So a bit of a variety of our roster. We've got some Ethiopian archers here by the look of it. Some Egyptian archers. Some Greek skirmishers. And some Nabatea camel riders. Here's the generals unit, of course. I did get a question. Someone asked me, how do you get different generals, bodyguard and cavalry units? I think that was because of, obviously, I've confederated with a lot of factions, so I'm actually technically using a lot of units from a varied Greek roster, because we confederated with what? The Cimmerian territories in the Crimea. and even like Pergamon and some of the coastal Greeks in Anatolia to some extent. But here are the Seleucids. I also asked the question as well, why can't you confederate with the Egyptians and Seleucids? Because they're technically Greek culture under the thing, but they're technically separate. Because they're Diadochi or something. And I think I was kind of right in that if the Greek city-state states the Seleucids and Egyptians could, I guess, confederate up, it would really hamstrung anyone's expansion in the east. It'd be like a Greek superpower. So they're moving out some units here to intercept me. They're coming out a bit, so we'll just have to see how we go. Oh, a little bit flat-footed caught there. My archers are getting their shots off. They're skirmishing back at me. But the Seleucids should have a similar roster to that of my own. So it should be quite close. So, once we've got the east completely under our control, we'll march against the Roman Empire. I would imagine it's the Roman Empire at this point. They've got a lot of territory in North Africa and in Iberia. We don't want to leave these eastern territories exposed. We can leave a couple of small strappies and fiefdoms and stuff, but I don't want to move the might of the Spartan army all the way west and then get attacked from behind, so we will have to leave some units. But betraying the Seleucids and the Egyptians will give us their resources, which we desperately need, because I still want to try and... Oh my god, he got pulled off the horse there and stabbed! Oh my god! Dropped his shield in the process. Oh my god, I got cut off by a crazy animation there. I'm going to get my camels and skirmishers just to target the elephants there. You nearly think a bunch of camels would probably spook a bunch of elephants, because they're going to be the main problem in this. Heavy Seleucid Syrian elephants. We did manage to smash the elephants that Epirus owned, but I don't know if they're... I think the Epirus elephants are North African. Well, these ones are sort of Easterner. They could... I don't think they'll be Indian. Maybe there were elephants in Syria this time. I don't know, because that's what they're technically called. But war with the Romans is coming, I promise, and it's gonna be a good one. I don't often leave the best faction in the game to build up. So it's going to take us a long time to chip apart against the Roman Empire. Okay, so those elephants are now gone kaput. Their reinforcements aren't coming in too quickly. We're really harassing them there with those camel riders. For whatever reason, the Seleucid army seems to be wanting to combine up with the reinforcements. So we'll give out some attack orders here, just to stop that cooperation. There's only very light missiles there as well, because we're actually capping the town square. I don't think we're going to be able to win it, but we might be able to send a pretty decent morale buff down. These skirmishers are doing fantastically well. They are really ripping through the Seleucid Hellenic armor, because in DEI you can get access to a bunch of fantastic mercenaries. But I think as you tend to go east, I would say the eastern factions probably have the better skirmishers. You know what I mean? Like if we were to push into Gaul and to the barbarian factions, we'd get more heavy infantry. But we already got decent infantry, so we don't really need it. It's actually probably, like, depending on where you expand on the map, you can get sort of benefits from the local population. Like, I wonder if there's like a map, like, oh, go into the steppes if you want cav, go into the far east if you want decent skirmishers, push into Germanic, Gallic, barbarian territory if you want heavy infantry, you know? So, pushing eastward is probably our best play for this faction. Even if, like, the barbarians had better resources, but the East does in these games. Okay, so we're just surrounding the Seleucid garrison here. And my Spartan heavy bodyguard is getting stuck and right into it. We've nearly capped the town square as well. We only need 1 unit there. We can move these other guys out. We don't need 3 capping. Still quite close, 50-50. Definitely worth playing this one. Auto-resolving would have not been the play. Okay, so they've got some heavy cavalry coming out. We want to try and move away from them and focus our skirmish cav on them. Okay. So we're taking a little bit of a while to break down there. That's just because we've got high defense rather than attack. Okay. Pretty good battle. So we've capped the town square. Now we just need to deal with these reinforcements coming in. Oh wow. Very heavy phalanx. Check out that. The Seleucids have a really cool roster. I did do a Seleucid campaign a while ago on the channel. I do recommend it. That cavalry's gone. That would have been a big problem. So it looks like the Seleucid heavies are the ones that are holding. Okay, so once we've dealt with this, we should be fine to really take the other Seleucid settlements without minimal resistance. I would have liked to confederate with them if I could, but there was no option. War was only. So now we're going to be able to secure essentially like Kurdish territory in the north. Okay, we've dealt with all the infantry there. The camels are out of ammunition. They're going to be able to run down these skirmishes here. What a terrible sight. Stupid looking camels. Alright. You can hunt camels here in Australia. Apparently not too bad eating either. I'd eat a camel. They've got a big old hump on their back. It's like a sous vide, isn't it? Probably moisturised the meat. Oh god, what am I on about? Right, we just want to try and surround and run down the last of the Seleucids here. Because we actually might lose if we wait too long against those heavies. So we'll send in our camel boys. That's a really great charge there, oh my god. The best of what the Seleucid Empire has to offer are currently in the muck. Down in the mud. Down in the sand. Down in the dune. June. Watched that recently. Didn't mind it. Liked it a lot. No spoilers from me. I love The Expanse, so. Oh my god, that guy's like trying to get back up. But yeah. I can see why people don't like the movie. Just casual viewers, but if you're into your sci-fi, your Star Trek, your Expanse, I do recommend it. Okay, the pikes are holding on here quite well. Holding from all sides. But now that we've pushed into Seleucid territory, we might actually very well be able to get them as a part of our roster. Okay. Their pikes are still holding on. You gotta give it to them. The Seleucid heavy pikes and phalanx, like the very heavies, from my experience, are some of the best in the game. They rival the Macedonians, arguably. And their phalanx is nearly as good as ours, I'm not even gonna lie. Someone also said, when I was just generally referring to the faction as Spartans, like, oh, your armies aren't technically made up of many Spartans. Which makes sense, it's DEI. We're recruiting from populations. So the generals are Spartan. But even like, it's If that's breaking your immersion, the Spartans controlling an empire as big as Alexander's. Like, there wouldn't be enough Spartans to really control such a vast empire. But we're nearly getting to the point of the campaign. I think there's another reform still yet to come. Like, or maybe we've already hit it, I can't remember. We should be able to get thorax Spartan swordsmen and some of the heavy units in the game, but you don't get them till about turn 150, turn 200. So they make you wait before you get your best Spartan units anyway. So Cleomenes III deployed 3,196, only lost 800 in that fight, and we've smashed the Seleucid garrison and reinforcing army. Looking at the casualties sustained and inflicted, once again our eastern archers did fantastic with a couple hundred apiece. The camel archers did really quite well, 342, crikey. Skirmishing down some of the elephants and the heavies, and then turned into a hammer and anvil camel charging unit, which is quite decent. Perioike hoplites and hoplites from the Black Sea did decent. My general's bodyguard did a little bit of a battering, a little bit chipped off there, lost about 20-25% I'd say, but did manage to get 170 kills in the end. So now we've taken Dura. Pretty decent settlement, bang smack in the middle. Yeah, so we lost one Cimmerian pikes there, but that's alright. So that's alright. But now we have the entirety of the province of Palmyra. We'll break down and repair where we can. We might be able to use some of their buildings though. Okay, so let's deal with the other settlements then. All of them seemed... We could have really auto-resolved all of them. We would have taken losses, but some are going to be easier than the other. So we'll send this army in here to Hatra. And we'll take another. So that's our first piece of territory in Mesopotamia. Yeah, dude. The Seleucids don't even have Seleucia, their capital. They lost it to rebels. This is a imitation of the old Seleucid Empire. We still have Arius, King Arius, still kicking about. Couple hundred turns in. He's taken to Desson now. Okay, back over to Antioch. We could bring reinforcements over. I might actually do that because we're in no rush. Because I worry about trying to ascend the walls of Antioch. We're going to lose a lot of lives doing it. But we've taken Tarsos. Can I get a unit over? Like, it's a big navy. There's actually not too much inside. Yeah, I'm going to auto-resolve it. I was like, oh, I could wait a turn and then bring another army over. But we're alright. What's happened there? Oh, I just lagged a little bit. Alright, we'll replenish and repair where we can. Oh yeah, we've actually already hit it. We had thorax swordsmen in that. Not too many. But we'll be able to use them. Yeah, there we go. Got some Spartans. But as we head back to Greece, we're probably going to be able to get more Spartan units because there's going to be more of the Spartan population that we can draw from in and around Hellas. Okay, back down in Ethiopia, we've got 3 full stacks just chilling here. I'm tempted to declare war upon, was it Axum or whatever these guys are? No, it's someone else. Axum are further south. But we want to try and take and secure southern Egypt. Last thing I would want is to lose my breadbasket that we've got in the empire. So what I'll do is I'll finish off the last of these African tribes, because we destroyed the Ethiopian one further to the north. But then we'll just get rid of the last of these blokes down here, and then we can't get attacked from the south. We could get attacked over by the Arabian Peninsula, but we'll be fine. There seems to be sort of closer and better resources to grab here. I don't think we need Arabia under our control. Right, back up in the north in Dacia, and sort of the Getae border here. I'm tempted to move over here. The Bori. Because I do want to go to war with Dacia. We did have a short war with them a while ago. Okay. So we'll get stuck into these Celts just to take... What is this? Transylvania. Bit into the Ukraine. We'd have to bypass those two armies, which is a bit strange. And then what I'll do, I'll swing down around to Dacia. So we'll take Petrodava. And this is as far north and east as I sort of want to expand. Into the fertile Ukrainian lands. Luckily those reinforcements didn't come in from the Buri. It actually would have been an even match. So, I think what I'll do is once we've sort of dealt with Dacia and a couple of these barbarians here that border us, we'll swing these guys around to the sort of Venetian territory, and the guys in Ethiopia can probably attack Rome from North Africa. Pyrrhic victory in the end against some random barbarians. But now we've taken Petrodava, and then we've nearly got all the province of Dacia under our control. All that remains is the actual core Dacian faction. I'll move my spy down just to see them, but we'll play that one. I already got a non-aggression pact with them. Okay, I was just fearing maybe retaliation. A need for cavalry. We'll go with recruitment rather than experience. Okay. Right, so you can push further south. So now that the war's gone through, we can't actually see their territory. We'll take their spice port here. I'm pretty sure it's spice, isn't it? You can get pretty decent spice from here. In Total War Attila, that's where you get most of the spice flow from. Okay. So let's repair what we can. We might even actually have to declare war upon Mesopotamia here. They're their own independent faction. So, how many... Oh, they've only got one piece of territory. We'll bring in Lysander as some reinforcements, and this will be the last of the Seleucids. So they didn't even have a full stack really hanging about, which is kind of crazy. I reckon the Armenians are probably going to have more military assets and resources at their disposal. So, food, religion to convert, and once the population is converted, we can break down those religious buildings for resources. So the Seleucids only have, I guess, a piece of territory in the sea. But that's what the Spartan Empire looks like now. We betrayed the Seleucids. And now I guess we go after the Armenians in the Getae. So, yeah, it's basically... Armenia actually isn't Armenia anymore. Look at it. They're actually, like, not in the traditional holdings. They're pushed over quite westward. Okay, back down in the south, we're continuing this war against the African tribes. So we're going to have to go around. It's going to be annoying. We had a really decent battle against the Ethiopians in the last episode, if you haven't gone and seen it, but we basically just want to take this territory. Because I always hate getting betrayed in this game. That's why I don't tend to have or trust alliances or vassals too long. You just have to make sure as well you don't call them in if you do. Okay, well, I guess we'll head westward once we convalesce and get some replenishment back. Okay, you can probably head north to Mesopotamia. So we've taken a little bit of a battering from this war against the the Seleucids. But yeah, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 armies from the Armenians. They tend to have a lot more. A lot of heavy cav as well, crikey. So where do they occupy? Yeah, it's actually more in my Turkish sort of territory. They did unfortunately take, was it Tyrosh off me? Okay, I guess we push into Mesopotamia to take Seleucia. They are currently allied though. They are Hellenic though. That's strange. We might have to go to war with Parthatha, the Parthians. Because the Persians are no more. Pathfather. I don't know why I'm struggling to say that so much. Anyway, they didn't come in anyway. So we'll be able to push into Seleucia and take the throne of the Seleucid Empire. So move you in. Interesting that they're Hellenic. You think they'd maybe be Persian or something. Anyway, Seleucia will be firmly under our control now. Hopefully, yep, close victory and we'll occupy. Cool. Now Mesopotamia is fully under the control of the Spartan Empire. Yeah, the Armenians are starting to push some units into me. So there's a full stack here, another one here as well. So it should be a good war against them. I think what we'll do is we'll replenish and repair. Maybe have some border conflicts, but we'll make plans to go against the Armenians start of the next episode. Okay, still dealing with these African tribes, so we'll push westward now. We want to get this entire province of Ethiopia under our control. We destroyed one of their armies, and hopefully we can destroy the faction. Yeah, there's not actually too much within the garrison. Seems to be a little green oasis there, but we're struggling to slowly but surely progress through the desert. Yeah, so Axum is further south. Yeah, so these were 3 independent African kingdoms. No more! Firmly under Spartan control. Let's move my spy down here just to give us some line of sight. So they've got an army here. Nothing too crazy. Alright. We can get some elephants by the look of it. Oh, and a bunch of decent African guys. Check out these archers as well, oh my god. Oh no! The Armenians have ended their military access pact with me. Why have they done that? They have a lot of stuff in my territory. It's because I'm unreliable. Alrighty. Well, unfortunately on that note, guys, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching episode 12 of my Total War Rome 2 Divide Et Impera Spartan campaign. Stay tuned for episode 13 coming out soon, at the exact same time as this video was released. So I've skipped a little bit ahead because we're going to start basically episode 13 after this to go to war with the Armenians. We have a little bit of a casus belli, a justification, because they broke their pact with us, but they still seem to be trespassing, which is interesting. So we'll try and push into their territory. The Armenian king has a lot of solid, decent, loyal generals, which we're going to have to try and run down. Some of them have actually been pushed north into Sinop, into Trebizond territory, which we have to keep an eye out. We'll also make plans to go to war with Dacia as well. Once we move a little bit south, we'll play that war against them. Then we're wrapped up in the north. Back down in the far south, we're going to push around to Axum, and then that's pretty much it. There are smaller, minor factions in the east, but I feel like we're going to have enough resources and manpower and territory, and there won't be too much of a threat from the east, and then we'll march west to start the downfall of the Roman Republic. Alright guys, stay tuned for more videos on the channel. I'm going to play the outro now. Take care. Unfortunately, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my social media links in the description below if you'd like to stay connected with me. Let me know feedback and suggestions for the video. Gotta say a huge thank you to my patrons and channel members: Victor K, Sebastian C, Jordan K, Caesar L, Brian S, Tal, Liam B, Kyle P, Tom C, and Wyatt P. So thanks guys, my name has been Simpzy, much love from Australia, goodbye.